So you have a tad that's screwed into, and this is not very thick, 2 millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters. So the seminar is 4 days, Friday through Monday, and there's 12 of them. Different than my arch form, which is always different than your arch form. How do you do that? You do the records. We show you how to do the records. We show you what you'll see is you'll see people, I'm just kidding, but you know what I'm saying. They will help you a lot. If you want to get accredited for your orthodontics with the AGD, you get, really, there's a term that you might have even. So these are the standard photographs. So our job, you know, when people. Okay. Airport, because I left mine at a seminar site once, and I should probably just trash it. Nation is very deep. This is okay. This one is not. If you want to put braces on this lady, how do you? Now mostly they're all digital. Scan, once again digital, and the computer will actually choose a tapered arch form. Makes sense. So there's 3. Okay, pano. We take a pano. You know, you had. So in this lateral, it has a lot of crowding, and it's an extraction case. Okay, let's go. Let's take one. Didn't extract teeth. What happened? In the lower arch, how do you straighten 10 millimeters of crowding without advancing your lower and upper arch? How do you straighten? Well, like everything with 10 millimeters of crowding, and you're going to do this to them, issue. And that's why you, because between the analyze them, the picture that you take is called a frontal set. It's called an A. Place the points, and then you hit the button, and the computer does everything for you. It tries to make it as easy for you as possible, is that diagnose a case. When we diagnose a case for you, and that we want. Because not only does when you're designing a case, options will be based on your treatment. So note to be on the screen here is where her teeth are projected. Old. No. When I first started, you know what we had to do? I remember when my cell phone was as big as my computer bag. I have horses anyway. Because the horses' canines are way back here. They're not really canines, but they're these kind of molar. Okay. So this is and from that, remember we said that this full the SSO, and they come back. If you don't know what you're doing, okay, but if you don't give, we get it back like this, okay, with all this post, get it back like, patient comes back from surgery and they still got 4 millimeters of class 2. She comes back with a nice posterior occlusion, 2 months after the surgery, try to give you this information to where, orthodontically speaking, to make that person in tooth position and jaw. Every case is basically the same. You have to choose. We want to know what torque we're going to put. We want to know what torque we're going to put into the canines. That we're going to do on the canines. It's on the molar that the wire fits into. A ring of, metal. That's all it is. It's either rotated towards the midline, rotation, a tooth rotation. It helps you choose those as well. We have those are 0.5 millimeter up. Canine. After you're completely done Which one of those do you think is more? Right. The mechanics just follow. This is pretty easy. We'll literally have you put on a bracket, one instructor, and we'll on there, and we'll tell you it's the walk out of here. That's what they're going to look like. Okay. Now, of ceramics. The teeth really kind of haven't moved. That's really pretty standard in adult ortho. Still, when the patient bites down, there still is the here. Adjustment 4 put into that case in the last 6 months. On and said goodbye to the patient. 1 fortnight diapertal. And then, no. Now, that's a good question. So the question orthodontics is a bad word. Okay? IPR and orthodontics, orthodontists in ortho. However, we do stripping on the lower. They want it's very nice for us. Third line. But that's why she has the crossbite square. Her upper teeth are now we're like edge to edge on. Do you remember? I'm doing nothing. I'm doing this. Great, I'm going to open your bite. I don't want to open your bite like she was. But, you know, the extraction approach kind of comes in. I haven't done much of anything except change a few wires. Has there been anything other than just watching the grass grow? Incisors, in space in the lower incisors. So the patient, from the very beginning of the case until now, you really haven't seen what we would. Okay. Misalignment, including that anterior crossbite, took about a year. The patient's class 3, their teeth are aligned, you can clearly see it. Remember the little loop in the arch wire? That's very standard. Instead of putting like a little old-fashioned keyhole, you know, it's very common. I could live with the lowers. So I would change a little bit. I won't get into this much, but overlay. This is called an anterior cross, the one that's on the upper right. Anterior cross elastics are mostly used if you have to shift midlines. That's true elastic. This one right here. Okay, so you kind of get a little bit. Color. We don't have colored braces, but we have color. You know, we got all kinds of stuff. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where the teeth, right and left-hand side, there might be as we can, and there's ways for us, you know, to do your utility arches. You still have to which pliers you use to do a first order bend. And it's so what would you okay, so we see that is a more complex finishing bend. So that's the look of kind of a typical vertical line. But there's her final occlusion. So with the vertical elastic, exactly perfect, but super close. The nuance is the cross section. You look at step analysis. The bone, the cortical bone anterior to your lower incisors is always thin. Cortical bone of the lower.
found a penny in my
Right.
Okay. Maybe I'll find it.
Thing in the face.
How did they make this out of penny? Dollars? I think. Oh.
Penny. Photograph, huh?
You don't want to have any rotations. As you guys have already seen, talk about that, no big deal. You know, after seminar number 3 for you guys, but absolutely a 10-year-old. Follow kind of the same little litany. You know, you can consider mixed dentition. It's a late mixed dentition, even though she's 10 years old. Talking about it at lunch. Page of SmileStream. This is where you're going to put all of your data. On the right side, her right side, that she has class 2. And after a while, it's like anything else. There's anyway, you're going to be get them to an orthodontist, you know, if necessary. Missing. If you are missing early enough, and if you track the upper E's, the upper with the mixed dentition cases, the younger kids, we're working to the parents. It's going to be a very short period of time before, and then they understand what's going on. You know, they can figure it out. So this is about pretty much, erupted. The upper canine. We look at the formation of the cervical vertebra. Most people, hadn't done any or many works and what they look like and all that stuff. So this is the classic growth curve. Has everybody heard of, let's say, a Herbst 11, 12 years old, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're trying to correct class 2, it's hard to catch a boy with to what we say. They don't follow. You with me? Start talking about the appliances, and then of course we have the good old fashioned. Your set machine. Okay. Now let me go back. Case right here, an easy or a hard case. This is a case you want to accept. This is a doing, either pressing forward or pressing to the side or doing something.
Okay.
You'd be working with them, Conversely, the little kid that comes in and's got a little into you, that's why you don't take a lot. Well, it's still there. I still see the same thing. It's not quite ready. Remember all the stuff that I told you last time? Now that you know that the kid needs it, you know how much their insurance pays, you already know how much direction of your set machine, and start taking it. It's done. Okay, so this they for phase 2, and you owe me the other 3,000.
No. It's already included.
Oh, I did. Oh, no, you didn't. pull that one on. Ability to, let them know in advance that technically that phase 1, and for a month or so, and it's called levels of difficulty. Easy in certain cases, what to look for in the harder case types. Perspective, you get up, go to the next off, reposition.